how do people come up with apps for smartphones, applications that provide handy information on your mobile? They're all the rage now, aren't they? Well, a group of first-year university students went to an app camp during the summer, run by the Kainos company in Belfast. They've had their prize giving, and I talked to two of the winners earlier about their apps, Kyle Davidson, and first up, Glen Sayers.
Being a student, I've seen a lot of students who are getting into difficulty with their money. So I thought, why not create an app that will allow them to keep track of their money, keep track of all their incomes, all their outgoings, and allow them to plan in advance what money they will have for times around Christmas or birthdays. The app will just allow them to see if they'll have enough money to carry out, their day-to-day tasks or to purchase things in the future that they might want to. Yeah.
So, I mean, why would this be an advantage over just maybe drawing up a list of outgoings and incomings? Is it the fact you can instantly access all the information on your...
Yes, it does all the hard work for you, so you can very, very quickly, on the go, see exactly how much money you have. It's a quick way of doing it.
For people who are numerate, they probably don't get into trouble with money, do they? It's for the rest of us who are all a bit vague about figures. How easy is your app to work?
It's very easy. You just put in exactly how much is incoming or going out and what it's for, and then the app will keep track of that. You can tell it if it happens every day, every week. The app then will be able to know in advance what's going to happen.
OK, we'll come back to you in a moment, Glenn. Kyle, you have another app, a bit more social than commercial. Tell us about that.
It's an app to help families affected by autism, and it's a way to create informative guides to teach someone in your family how to do something that would seem easy to us, but maybe a bit more complicated for people with autism. My brother has autism.
Right, OK, so that's where you've been exposed to this.
It was an easy way for me to make something that would allow me to explain to him how to do things, but at the same time help other families with the same kind of problem. And it's as opposed to telling someone how to do something, you have a fun visual kind of sandbox to teach them how to do things.
So just explain a little bit more how it works.
Well, what we call it in the app is guides. So you would have a topic, let's say maybe it's first day of secondary school, and I could have a guide on finding your way around the school. And what I can make is pictures or videos or sound, and really pages and pages, or as short as long as you like, of information that would say, this is your teacher, this is how you ask to go to the toilet, just really basic things, but things that might seem quite daunting on like a first day of school, or anything socially kind of challenging.
And with your brother, you were able to experiment's a terrible word to use, but in the nicest possible way.
My testing process.
Well, what did he make of it all?
He liked it. The first thing we actually made with him was a guide on how to make a cup of tea, and it was something that actually I could make it pretty quickly and see if you could use it pretty quickly, and he did it to the tea very well. And it was just a process where he would say, how do you do this stage? And I would say, just play the video. And he'd watch me explain how to do it, and then he would try it himself, and we got it all done.
OK, and Glenn, you get the idea. Now, how do you get from the idea stage into turning out a practical app that can be available and also usable?
Well, the first part is the design. You have to make sure that your design's perfectly done. And if you get a good design, then the rest should fall into place.
Who teaches you about this sort of stuff?
We were taught by Kainos in Belfast. They had guys who mentored us the whole way through.
This is a firm that specialises in this sort of thing?
They're a software development firm in Belfast, yes.
Right.
And they taught us all we needed to know about app development and gave us a kit to do it. And then they mentored us through the process, and they helped us whenever we got stuck.
Yeah.
There's a lot of techie stuff.
Yeah.
Presumably.
There was there was the learning curve, because we didn't initially know the language to write these iPhone applications on, and you have to learn that kind of thing. And it would be if you maybe hit a wall in the learning process, you would go over to one of the mentors and say, how do you do this, and they'd help you along the way. So without them, I don't think most of us would have gone
It's
far.
a two-way street, presumably, because you get guidance and help, and they hopefully end up with something which makes them some money. Isn't that the idea?
Yeah, well, the applications that get released are actually free. So, I mean...
well, I don't know how this whole thing works commercially, but...
You can choose... Basically, when you go to release an app, you choose your licensing, or, if this is going to be a paid app, or if this is going to be free, and you can choose your stores, obviously, for each country and stuff like that there, but they choose to release free, a free... Because, honestly, kind of in app buyer trends, that's what people go for, because you see something with a price on it, you kind of daunt it off a little.
Yeah.
And you see something that's free, you would download it just to try it. Or
you could call it Appland rather than Lapland at this time of year, couldn't you? And do you think of a name for the app? Is that an important element to it?
The name is very important, I think.
What do you call yours, then?
Mine's called Budget-Wise.
Budget-Wise. Yep. And yourself?
Mine's is called Make Sense.
Makes sense. Okay, well, let's hope Budget-Wise makes sense. Do well in 2012. Thank you very much indeed.